Hello, all my Facebook friends, my Podomatic podcast listeners, and of course, YouTube. This is a companion video for episode 72. Pretty good episode. I think a lot of great music here. So, a few different things, some interesting stuff, and let's get started. One of the first ones that we're going to do is actually a gentleman here who was grade school and high school friend with my father. Um, Plus, that not only did they not just know each other, they played together in high school in the band. My father is an accordionist, and which goes to show you how long ago it was. How many accordionist kids are in high school bands these days? Also, um, they were some sort of after-school program of some sort where they played in a band together there as well. His name is Don Menza. He's actually a tenor player, but on this particular record he plays alto and baritone saxophone because on tenor saxophone they have Sam Nestico. And this is recorded live at Carmelo's in Sherman Oaks, California on October 2nd and 3rd, 1981. And this is not exactly an easy record to find, but because I am in Buffalo here and he is a Buffalo person, coincidence, I just happened to find one and it was a $1.99 bin. So, great price for something like this. And this is on the Palo Alto Jazz Records label. Great condition, looks very good. Great music. We'll probably we used a tune, the actual album title, Hip Pocket. We did use that particular tune, Hip Pocket. But at some other point we'll be doing another song on here because Charlie Parker's Quasimodo is on here as well. Very good tune. Alright, moving on. Another West Coast guy. This guy has actually helped to, a pretty big part of the creation of the West Coast style. His name is Shorty Rogers. He's a trumpet and flugelhorn player. And this is on RCA Records. It's called Wherever the Five Winds Blow. It's kind of an interesting packaging. Great photo. Nice and clean on the back. And did notice this is at some point BGSU, I'm not even sure, some sort of state university had this, probably were using it on their radio show, but at one point it said discard. They were going to get rid of it, and someone snapped it up and kept it, and through the magic of craziness it ended up in my hotwell hands, which I love. But the entire thing is like completely laminated, like laminated, like imagine your driver's license or something, just crazy plastic coating all over the whole thing. And then the opening is here at the top. There's no sleeve because the sleeve is part of the lamination. It's crazy. It's just crazy, but it's kind of weird. And I've never seen, it's an RCA. I've never seen another RCA like that. So, all right, one of our favorites here on Little Night Music. Just a great vocalist. He's got an interesting voice, which gave him a nickname that he didn't like too much, the Velvet Fog. He's got a really cool style of singing. Just laid back, a little bit behind the beat, so it's sort of got a funky, cool feel to it. And he does a great job if he scat sings, and he's good in hot numbers, and he's good in ballads. He's just a great vocalist all around, and I can't get enough of him. But here is an album. It's actually called a new album. It was recorded in London with the Chris Gunning Orchestra featuring Phil Woods, and it's the first studio album he did in 1977 since 1968, 1969. He was on tour all over the world, Europe, South America, North America. So during that time period, he did quite a few live albums, but just never made it to the studio again. So there it is. And this is actually on the Griffin label. And again, recorded in London, England. Still has the plastic on it, still in great shape. Love it. Moving on, here's a record. I love these. I'm getting more and more into these. It kind of drives me a little crazy though. They're Italian. They're made in Italy. So therefore all the liner notes, all the information that comes with the record is in Italian. And then they're imported into the U.S. We've showed a couple of these called I Grandi del Jazz. And that's when they're in the studio. When they're a live performance, they're called I Grandi Incontri. This is called Jazz Special, and it features Roy Eldridge and Dizzy Gillespie. Jazz Special. And here's why I like them so much. You would think it's a gatefold at first. Right? You open it, looks just like a gatefold. Okay? But if you look, when you open it, the record is in here, goes in this direction. Oops. See? Alright. And then this part, there's a little flap here, and this is actually a booklet. Alright, so, there you go. You can see Grandi Incontri. And when you open it, there's a great picture of Roy Eldridge on this side and Dizzy Gillespie on this side. And this opens up. Look at all the great information in there. Can't read a lick of it, not a single word of it. Some great pictures. Enjoy the pictures. This side opens up. Okay. This one's about Dizzy. Great pictures again. Can't read a single word of that because it's in Italian. Oh well. But I didn't buy it necessarily for the words. I bought it for the music, and the music on here is amazing. Again, this is recorded live. There is one track off here which I'm going to be using on a another show that I do called The Long Haul, because it's quite a lengthy tune. The show's purpose is to play things that are over 10-12 minutes long, because that usually doesn't get a lot of radio time because of its length. And this one is going to definitely be one. It's a ballad medley, and it features I'm Through with Love, Can't We Be Friends, Don't You Think, I Don't Know Why, and If I Had You. 11 minutes and 11 seconds long. We actually used the tune Blue Moon off of this. Okay. Moving on, tenor saxophone player also plays an instrument called the baritone, which is basically a tenor saxophone with an electric pickup in it. So when you play it, the pickup picks up obviously that sound, and then it's fed through a little distortion kind of. It can do a couple different things: add distortion, add vibrato, that kind of thing. It's very interesting. I don't know of too many people who actually use that professionally. He's one of the rare guys, I guess. And his name is Eddie Harris, and this is The Electrifying Eddie Harris. Another great album. Still has the plastic on it, although it's ripped, it's coming off. I'm going to keep it on as long as I can. Nice and clean. This is on Atlantic. And he uses that baritone saxophone, but he doesn't go crazy with it. Just a mild, subtle, little bit of distortion, a little bit of vibrato in there, or reverb. It makes it very cool sounding. And we're actually going to hear one of his original tunes called Listen Here. Okay. Moving on, vocalist, great vocalist, and she's also an actress. Was on, I believe, the show Dynasty. This is on Columbia House, Columbia Records, and it's called "Nobody Sees Me Cry" by Diane Carol. This is actually a very good record, great condition, love it. All right, now I went to a thrift store and I found a series of records, a collection of records that hadn't come in, and majority of them were just in horrible, horrible shape. Whether the person who owned them just had them and used them so much that they deteriorated through the amount of use, or whether the person just didn't take care of them, I'm not sure. But her name is Shirley Payne. And how do I know that? Because she wrote her name on everything. But anyways, this is one of the better ones that I got from that collection, or that was in that collection. I didn't take them all, although it killed me because some of them were like some great name artists. There was B.B. King in there. There was Miles Davis in there, and John Coltrane, and Thelonious Monk, and the list goes on. Just some great, but they were so terrible I didn't want to take any of them. But anyway, this one is a good one, or fair at least. Cannonball Adderley, Jump for Joy. And this is on Mercury. And again, she wrote her name on it. She put her initials on it. There's something, I don't know what, staining the front. In the back too here, we got, looks like red wine was spilled on it there. And I don't know. But anyway, the music though is fantastic. This is Cannonball doing the music of Duke Ellington with a string section. Strings arranged by Bill Russo. Right. Next, great vocalist here. And this one I'm not sure what it is. I've seen it advertised or seen it portrayed as a compilation record, and I've also seen it where it has new material on it. So how can you have a compilation that has new material on it? But whatever. It's on Columbia, and it's called Blue Velvet, and it stars Tony Bennett. And this one is in, again, really nice shape, nice and clean. We actually use the tune off of here, Funny Thing. Excuse me. Funny Thing. Although there is the tune Blue Velvet on here, and Solitaire, which is another big hit by Tony. Alright. And last but definitely not least, a very interesting record by a clarinet player, one of the very few bebop clarinetists. He came in to his professional career at a time where big band music was on its way out, and of course when you think of a clarinet you think mostly of either big band, people like Benny Goodman and Artie Shaw, or Dixieland music, obviously. But again, he was a bebop player, and this is actually his first venture into a little bit free jazz at the time, and features another big name from the West Coast jazz scene, Victor Feldman, great piano player and vibraphone player as well. But it's actually called Free Sale, and this is on the Choice Stereo record label. It's in decent shape, but the material for this is a single LP, was put together with additional tracks and released in the UK as Free Fall. But here the US one is called Free Sale, and it's just the one, like I said, the one record. We took the tune Yesterdays off of this, which is a Jerome Kern, Otto Harbach tune. Alright, and that's it for this video. Again, If you're interested in what you're seeing and you want to hear some of those tunes that we've taken off them, you can click below here and you will see there is 2 links. One to our Facebook page and the other one is to the Podomatic podcast for the show. All right. Thanks very much. You have a great day and I hope you enjoy.